You first.
This time I have a very, very important and very unique information for all of you who's been wondering how all this started. Actually, I have a couple of people who's been asking, hey, how did it all went down?
So, it's my turn. It's my turn now. Okay. So, I've been asked 1,000 times, how did I meet? How did I end up with an African guy, right? Because I'm born and raised in the Carolinas.
African American lady Chantel Jenkins. There's a lot to it, like I've been saying. So a lot of people have been asking, how did it all start? We've just been giving a little bit of highlights here and there, but I want to give true details on how it all started. So, well, from the beginning, I had just come here to interact with my father. Visit my father. I get to know him very well. So I was living with him for what 6 months, but we had some issues going on back and forth because of the distance. Because I grew up without him, and he had been here for a while, and at the same time, I have grew up, living with my mom, a few family friends, living with aunties and cousins. So
So, about the time I met Philip, I was going through a lot actually. I had stopped dating. I had declared that unless the man was going to meet me on my level, I wasn't really interested in dating. And I have went through some things like lost my job, moved in with my grandmother. My brother was in horrible. Um, he was assaulted, and this was literally right before I met Philip.
I have a different perception about who my daddy was. So living with him, it was a big challenge. We were always bumping heads and all that kind of stuff. So but during the time, um, he got tried to get me into school, which he did. You know, it was very difficult. So I decided to try and find a companion. Like a friend, maybe meet somebody. Interact with some other people. So I went online. And online that I went, which was a particular site called Tag, and trying to meet somebody, maybe go out, just interact with them, share some ideas, um, have some fun.
And I had been on that website so long, and everybody I met was so, uh, the nightmare women deal with. It was gangster guys or guys who wanted booty calls or whatever. And what I noticed was Tag would tell you who came to your page.
You know. So I went online, and then me being online, I think I met a couple of people. Somewhere, just giving me uh, their likes and everything. But Chantel just sent me a link, and then she gave me a phone number, and she said, um, "Call me." I think she wanted to hear my voice, and I just sensed that.
And out of all the people that came to my page, I'd go and check, did they have drugs? Did they have guns or hip hop lifestyle? Not that I'm against it, but there's an extreme I'm not really into, you know. And did they talk derogatorily about women? So a lot of guys got struck off the list right away because I'm just not interested in all of that. But when I would go to Philip's page, it was so normal. It was just him having a good time, him in front of a car. I noticed that one of the cars, the steering wheel was on the wrong side. I saw, okay, so he international. And some of the pictures were goofy. And I was like, you know what? He hasn't said anything to me. So I noticed he came to my page more than once. And I said to him that it was okay to talk to me. He didn't have to just keep lurking. So I sent him my information so that he could talk to me.
So um, I got the phone number, gave her a call. I was in my father's house when I got the phone number. So I called her, and we had pretty much some nice conversation. Me trying to be that decent guy that I've always been. Anyway, so we talked, and then she was like, "Oh, you sound different. Your accent and everything." She wanted to know a little bit more.
And I told him I wanted to hear his accent. So he said his voice, it was his accent. Because I knew already that he was from out of states. And so that's how we met.
So we set up a date where she could meet me. And I didn't even know how I was gonna do that because I was in school at the time. So I think we decided to meet um, where my father used to drop me, the hospital called Rex. Anyway, I was excited. Me getting Chantel's number was very exciting. So I think she came down one time to see me.
And it was, the first day was pretty interesting. Like he didn't look a lot like his pictures. I guess he was stressed out, And so he spent the whole day talking like about the things that were stressing him. So I said, you know what, we can be friends. So I said, okay, we'll be friends. So that's kind of how we met. Do you remember the first date?
Yeah, I think I do. Crazy. Anyway, so we ended up meeting. We were having something to drink and eat, and I was so tensed up. I was tensed up talking about how my father was this, he was that, and that. Man, it was just crazy, But so crazy that if that was your first date, I guess you're not even gonna meet the person anymore. But for a reason, I don't know if I was lucky or I'm just a lucky guy. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm kind of unique. So anyway, so on our first date, and she was just soaking it in. And I guess because she could understand due to what she was going through as well, so she was like, okay. So that was how we ended up having, to eat, drink, and have a great conversation. But I don't know if that conversation was great. For me, it was because I was able to voice out everything.
It was a good conversation. I think for me it was good because I didn't have to talk about the stuff I was doing. So I was just glad to have somebody that wasn't talking superficial or corny or just trying to manage.
Yeah, I guess so. But then at the same time, since I was going through that kind of tension, I was kind of trying to push myself a little bit more than me just being friends, But actually, when I saw her the first time, I think I called one of my friends who knew me. I hadn't even met him here, but I knew him back home. So I called him. It's so great. I called him and I said, "Hey, look, I found somebody, man. And that person, look, if that person is on the other side of life, I will change her." That's exactly what I said.
That's not exactly
what did I say? What did I say? I guess. I mean, it is what it is. If that person was what nothing better than I thought, because it's you meet people and out of the blue, some would say out of desperate, you're too desperate or you were, but there was something very very unique, very unique about her, and I guess probably how she looks, or I don't know. First, we all going for, that's why you put a nice picture on the page, But I always knew there was something. Yeah, I always knew there was something different, So after the date, I think we ended up playing a pool or something like that, And I wasn't pretty, I mean, there was pool in London and other places, but I wasn't pretty kind of familiar with it, so I kind of went along with the whole flow with my intentions totally different.
My intentions were to win, which is all. Okay.
Yeah. So we kind of had a good time, and it was very very interesting. you know. But I think,
So from there, we kind of like had this really good friendship. Like this guy would go anywhere with him. It was so refreshing, honestly. So many guys duck and dive and don't want to be around. You went like to some pretty interesting places just because I was going.
no, I mean, first of all, I didn't have any entertainment around. So if I
Right.
had somebody who could just take me, and I used to do a lot of entertaining, going here, doing kind of stuff, and I'm stuck in my father's house, and having somebody who can just take me out everywhere, yeah, that was refreshing. Trust me, it was really, really refreshing. You know, I enjoyed every bit of it. Everybody looked at me like, why is he following you everywhere?
Baby showers.
Yeah.
They're out of here.
Yeah,
Just go.
yeah. And because I wanted to explore, and moreover, where I was living in what I call the rich neighborhood where you don't
Oh,
see
it's a
anyone.
very nice area, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's true. It's not really a lot of neighbors. Like you're not gonna
yeah,
walk out your house and see people. Walk out your house and maybe see cars passing by, that type of thing.
yeah. I used to say when I come out, I was like, where are the people? Like everybody is, everybody is hiding, but it's just the way the vicinity is. The houses are further apart, you know.
That's
So
like,
that was kind of very very kind of odd to me, until I had the chance to ride a bike down where she lived, and that was a very long,
that's
you
a
know.
crazy ride. I feel like Philip is from the city, so Accra is very condensed. There's a huge population there. But here in Raleigh, it's kind of the country,
Yeah, it's so wide.
it's spread out. We live in a very suburban neighborhood. So, we see our neighbors, but only the ones very close to us.
She was doing the one doing the driving, I mean, I know how to drive, but you need certain things to be able to get yourself, you know.
Established, yeah.
So I went into the house and I met the grandma, say hi and everything. And
Oh, do you remember the noise she made?
grandma was saying something.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, the grandma was like, hmm. Yeah, I don't know what that meant, but I felt me going to that neighborhood, seeing a lot of people, a lot of mixed people. I felt at home. I felt really at home. So that could put me into uh, that energized me actually into getting more involved, like, oh yeah, these are my people, this is the people that I'm supposed to be hanging out with, so it kind of gave me a different perception, towards. But it was so funny how the grandma was like, so I kept asking, hey, grandma, what's she saying? She don't know I'm a different person, I don't know if other people come and visit you, and so it was.
It's the hardest thing to explain too. Like, right? Because that just means, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking actually what she was.
Which is a little more sarcastic. It kind of means like, yeah, okay, whatever. It can mean any number of things, but I think if you're raised in it, you kind of get it. But you guys say stuff I don't really know either, So at least at first, I didn't really get it. So I think it's just a cultural thing.
Yeah, it was a little different for me, but I think it was pretty interesting too, because I was helping the grandma do certain stuff. She wanted to be pushed over here. I was always there. She wanted to, hey, can you lift this for me? Can you do that for me? So it was me trying to get more engaged.
Yeah. I think the first time I really felt like he was serious was when he told me I did too much. You remember that? Yeah, I was at my grandmother's house. Okay, so I had already started my job at the bank, and my brother had come out of the hospital, and I was a single mom, and I was helping take care of my grandmother, and I think I needed to cut the grass that day or something, and Phil was like, you do way too much, and I was like, well, who else is gonna do it? This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and he was like, no, you need a man in your life to help. And so, he struggled with me for a couple of years with that. Like I was very independent, just learn how to take care of yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, You know, it's pretty interesting how African Americans, African Americans are, especially the women, are very independent. You know, very, very, very independent. Actually, they're real nice people too. Well, you know, I guess if you meet one that is very hostile, trust me, probably it's just what she's been through. You know,
Very hostile.
yeah,
You've been through too much.
yeah.
Don't count her out.
But still, they still
Yeah.
find a way, you know, a way to give you a little room for you to prove yourself. You know, so like how we met. There's one unique thing that I kept telling her, like, you know, we're two different people, and I know we're gonna have problems. You know, we're gonna have real problems, no doubt, because we're from different backgrounds, you know, and different cultures, you know. But there's one thing that I knew, that if we were both willing to understand each other, to make it work, it's gonna work. And that's what I kept saying to her all the time. You know, I kept saying that all the time. Look, I know, and every time we're gonna have some, you know, anger issues or troubles or anything of that sort, I kept saying, look, it's gonna work out. You know, we can make it work out. So we talk about issues. You know, we talk about the differences and what can be done, what cannot be done. You know, and we come to an agreement. And I remember one thing that she always said, it was about compromise. You know, compromise is a big word, and like I said in our previous video, yeah, that's what's brought us this far. I mean, it's pretty much interesting how you have to let certain things go and understand, you know, the other partner. Like, you know what? Okay, well, I think my way is the right way, or you know,
or the African way is the right way.
Yeah, it was always the African way.
Is the right way. You know?
Yeah, it was always the African way, but it didn't work out that way. You know, sometimes you just gotta drop the African way and learn the American way. Like a friend asked me, how did you get accepted, you know, in the society? But you just gotta drop some things that you used to do, and I don't care about this, I don't care about that. You know, you start learning how to care, you know, care about the other half. You know, so that was pretty much one of the most unique things that we had to um, overcome. You know.
So that's it. That's how we met. That's how we got started. And I guess we'll come back with more stuff to tell you.
You still have some more.
I think we touched on blending of culture. So next time we'll probably talk about how that worked out. How did I blend in with Africans? How did he blend in with Americans? Because, you know, I think we both are we have friends on both sides.
Yeah, that's something very unique about our relationship. We have friends on both sides, and now that I have you know, a lot more African friends, and she now have a lot of African friends. You know, that's pretty much very unique for us as well. You know, blending it. And for the next video, we got some more to tell you, especially how she now sew African clothes, you know, African garments, you know, all across. You know, we've got a lot more coming down the line. How she cook African food, you know, better than me now. You know, she fighting me over the food. You got to cook it this way, and I thought I was the one teaching her how to cook it. You know, but I think it's very, very interesting and very unique. Of you know, we're blending in, and I have a couple of questions that some people have been asking me. So we're still working on getting the videos out. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Okay, there's more videos coming.